Follow us on Twitter at ghettoplex_mp4, on Instagram at ghettoplex.mp4, and on YouTube at Ghettoplex. Heretic is a pretty fun movie for the first half. I would say it's very engaging in the first half of the film with the complicated conversations about faith, polygamy, comparing religion to fast food, games, and even music, which then leads up to a game, a very complicated game, a complicated game in the beginning until you get deeper into the game. Well, the characters, as the characters get deeper into this game, experiment, simulation, whatever you want to call it, it gets a little less complex. So it feels like it doesn't really have a climactic impact. It still is really good though. I enjoyed the film. Because of the strong first half of the film, the second half just doesn't bang as much. And I think, with the very engaging conversation and not really a debate, it's just more, what's his name? Hugh Grant's character. He just has this very interesting conversation with these two Mormon girls about historical, how do I put this? In the beginning, they do such a good job at having this slowly, it seems like it might be slow. I feel like it actually happens kind of quick. But their conversation about belief and faith and comparison of religions, it's very interesting. Obviously, Hugh Grant's character, it's not really clear if he is an atheist. He is very obsessed with studying religions. And the closest that he comes to having of his own belief system, if you even want to call it that, is simulation theory. But it's not even clear if he even believes in simulation theory. It seems like, is it just another part of his experiment to create the question of simulation theory? Well, hypothesis. And I do like how he corrected the girl about theory versus hypothesis, because the word theory is used so incorrectly. But anyways, yeah. So I'm going to go with, it seems more obvious that he was an atheist, right? He has the same talking points as an atheist. He becomes, I would say, like final boss atheist. That's almost what this movie is. It's instead of like Heretic, I would have called it like final boss atheist or something like that. But there's not really anything, because there's no like Heretic in the film. Maybe it's just the name was catchy because people know of like heresy, but that wasn't really too much an act of heresy. I mean, if you're an atheist, like to be a heretic to an atheist is to actually believe in something. So maybe that was the reason they called it heretic, is because he was in this intellectual battle with these Mormon girls. And for atheists, it's like heresy to believe in anything at all. But yeah, it is interesting because this experiment that the Hugh Grant character plays, I believe his name is Reed. I'll call him Reed from now. But yeah, so the game or experiment, it's kind of a combination of the two. It is a game of control, which he wants the girls to come to that conclusion that he was controlling them the whole time, just like religion does. Because as an atheist, you only see religion as a system of control. So when you only see religion as a system of control, you're going to have, you can only really play this game experiment with someone who is weaker than you. So in the film, Reed, this is, I'm going to get into some spoilers right here. So if you don't want me to spoil anything for you, come back after you've watched the film and pick up from where you left off here in the video. But I'm going to get into spoilers now, so if you're sticking around, let's have fun. But so in the film, Reed has been playing this game with many people. But the thing is that all the people he plays this game with are all women. And the reason he plays this game with specifically women is because if you try to play this game with we are a much more violent sex. We're not gonna play the game. If you find weaker men, but Reed, he's not exactly a physical force. He is a psychological force. So you can't play these psychological games with someone if they can rip you apart physically. If there's nothing you can do to stop them from ending the game by just basically kicking your ass, you can't really control the game. That's why, to him, he needs his subjects to be weaker than him. in a physical sense. You can't conduct this game with someone who can overpower you. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's kind of like the only thing I really wanted to spoil about the film is that, I think it's obvious from the trailer that this is an experiment that he's been doing many times. But in case it wasn't obvious, I just wanted to throw that spoiler warning. But overall, I think Heretic was a very interesting film, much more so in the beginning than in the end. But it was still a pretty solid film. I don't know if I would recommend to watch it in theaters. It's, I mean, you're not missing out much if you just wait for it to come out on streaming. But if you like going to the theaters and you don't know what else to watch this week or next week, give Heretic a watch. I think it's still a good film. Anyways, follow us on Twitter at ghettoplex_mp4, on Instagram at ghettoplex.mp4, and on YouTube at Ghettoplex. See you guys in the next one.